National Payments Corporation of India has in fact tied up with UAE's Etihad to offer not a UPI service but a RuPay card-like service in UAE.
That's right. So that deal is to be signed today on October 5th. I think historic day there because we have our Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal at UAE, and this deal between this agreement between the NPCI International Payments Limited, which is the global arm of the National Payments Corporation of India, and Etihad. This agreement is actually going to enable cross-border transactions using the RuPay stack. So the RuPay debit cards and the RuPay credit cards and that entire stack which has been built by NPCI is up for an agreement between the two countries. Now, what is this going to do? Number one, of course, it is going to facilitate cross-border payments. But NPCI International has already initiated that with a host of other countries. This includes our neighbors Bhutan and Nepal, and as well as a close business associate Singapore. So these three countries are already using the UPI stack, the UPI service for cross-border transactions between those three countries and India. Now, RuPay becomes this added extension for UAE, and this stack is again going to be largely fostering this cross-border transactions, peer-to-peer transactions that happen between these two countries. Of course, there is a large Indian diaspora in the construction industry, in the oil trade industry, in UAE, even in the banking sector for that matter. And any remittances coming back into India or any transaction being made from India to UAE, if that stack can be the RuPay, and if it is denominated by the Indian rupee, the INR, then obviously the ease of cross-border payments increases multifold. Now, add to this, I think there are also bilateral meetings, scheduled, and these bilateral meetings.
Before you come to that, just a clarity. So, on the RuPay card, if I am an NRI living in UAE, after the RuPay card is rolled out, I can take that RuPay card and make transactions in UAE as well as India?
So, what it seems to me is that it is the architecture being used, not specifically point of service, point of sale, contact-based transactions. That stack is being used that if you're on that stack of RuPay, then you can link your bank accounts to the RuPay infrastructure, and that can facilitate the payment back to India or remittances back to India. Right. But I think as the technology sort of finds its way deeper into the geography of UAE, even point of sale services should be enabled, and hence an Indian carrying an Indian debit card, a RuPay debit card traveling to the UAE should be able to make transactions using that debit card in INR. So I think those are the additions that the agreement will see.
So we're still waiting for the details.
Absolutely. So I think the MOU is going to get signed only today. Once it is signed, we should have a copy of it and we'll be able to drill deeper into it. But multiple other bilateral trades, ironing out of trade, challenges that the two countries face is up in a high-level task force meeting scheduled today and tomorrow, both the days. Overall, India's trade with the UAE has gone up almost 3 times over in the last 5 years. If you look at the period between 2020 and 2023, March 2023, in this 3-year period, FDI from UAE into India has breached the $17 billion figure, which is fairly substantial. But overall, just about 2% of India's overall FDI into the country in that period. So a small percentage, a large number. I think global partnership, global trade, also with respect to the economic corridor, etc., and all of that getting strengthened is all going to add to trade partnership between the two countries.
All right, and we already have a CEPA agreement with UAE, which has resulted in trade doubling down over the past couple of years.